Kanyank, your deception ends now. I shall cleave the truth from you like flesh from a doer.
Help me! She's gone mad!
Another normal evening in camp, I see.
Stay out of this. She is mine to purge. I saw her. She slipped into camp in the form of a woman and shifted into this abomination. She tried to silence me and hide her deception.
I didn't do anything!
She doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight.
Her wits are about her. She knows we outnumber her. Say your farewells, Navukrim.
Let her go, Lae'zel.
Let's not cast friends.
You turn on me to save this ignorant whelp. Do I mean so little to you?
Look at it, crawling and sniffing and rooting around in the filth. Is it my netherstone you seek, little piggy? Hush, hush. Orin will take care of you and your little pet.
What have you done with Lae'zel?
Nothing. No, not a thing. Still gasping and gagging on the foul airs of Bhaal's temple. I will not slice. Her kind die too easily. The Murder Lord demands a better offering. Something new, sticky, sweet, and delicious. He wants you.
Come for me, then, and you'll meet your gods soon enough.
Silly little worm. My God is always with me. He shudders to see how my blades plunge into soft, surrendered flesh. You are dull. A blunt blade unfit to flay. But you could be sharpened, thin and jagged. Yes, I will tell you what to do.
I'm sharp enough already. I'll show you right now.
No, not here, not now. The tyrant must fall first.
You've heard Gortash's whispers. I see how your skull swarms with his promises. He whinges and wails over the crown of Karsus, wanting to command it without me. Oh, how I long to slit his poxy smile from ear to ear. But I can't touch him. He bound my blade when we first conspired. Gortash didn't want me at first. Didn't trust me. Got me to wag my tongue, swear an oath never to hang him from the hooks. Drip drain him into father's open jaws. You must kill the tyrant. Take the netherstone from his corpse and bring it to my temple.
There we slice and shred each other. The survivor claims the stones. What's left of the other is Bhaal's. Agree, and I will bring my assassins to heal. They watch you always, longing to spray the crimson from your veins. Refuse me, and you'll learn what happens to those who defy Bhaal's doctrine. So will your friend.
Orin demands a fight to the death. The prize for the victor, the Netherstones, and the chance to control the crown alone. Accept, and you must kill Gortash. Refuse, and your companion's life may be forfeit, as might your own. Orin's assassins will hunt you like prey for slaughter.
Right. I don't understand the point of this scene whatsoever, other than kidnapping one of your companions. Using the doppelganger as a mythical, scary boogeyman. There's no point to this. Our original plan with this whole Netherstone idea was always to confront Gortash and Orin. Now she just wants us to confront Gortash and then her. There's no difference. Why does this exist? Also, we could return to Gortash right now and tell him that Orin has captured one of our companions, or in the original case of this, when I had a full party, it was always Yenna who was captured. To get this scene, I dumped everybody and figured out who the game wanted to capture. But anyways, we could return to Gortash and try to say this, but this is not a dialogue option. Which reminds me of when I played an Apocalypse run where some NPCs took pity on me because I couldn't pick the dialogue option I wanted to. And the NPC said, "Oh, yeah, we totally understand."
So be it. I will kill Gortash. Lae'zel lives. Then we fight for the final Netherstone.
The promise of slaughter, of pain and humiliation, and the sound of blood dropping into the gutter. Do not underestimate his steel watch. Seek their cradle in the lower city and skewer their skull meat. Make them rust and blood. Then you can gore the lordling again and again and again. But listen close, Bone Killer. Step in my domain while the tyrant still sucks air, and I will carve your failure into your pretty plaything's skull. Bring me his stone, and I will set the bait free. Only then can you and I make exquisite butchery. The victor will set the world to slaughter. That is Bhaal's offer. He will not make another.
We get Lae'zel's backpack full of items, which she would have, but we already dumped her belongings into the chest. We'll leave her with her gear on, though. I'm not sure how to play out later, but I assume that she'll be imprisoned or something with the gear, and I'd rather her have it on. Let's go ahead and cast Speak. Oh, we already have Speak with Animals on.
But please, don't look at me.
Alright, you have absolutely nothing to say about any of this. If you fail the check or encourage Orin to do so, Yenna can actually die here, making this one of the few cases where we're allowed to have a child character killed in-game.
What happened?
There was an intruder in our camp, but she's gone now.
Is she coming back?
She's dangerous. She might find a way, but we're more dangerous.
I don't feel good. I want my mum. I want to go home. If she does come back, I'm sticking her with my potato knife. Hard. She won't take me again.
Atta girl, Yenna. You do that and you'll have a place in our camp.
So we will unfortunately not have Lae'zel for the next few scenes, which I do like her comments as we're touring Baldur's Gate, but maybe I can still get her to say those things. She often compares them to the Spelljammer universe, talking about Toril and other things that you might encounter when you have celestial navigation. So yes, in the timeline of this game, there are flying spaceships, and there are other planets with other fantasy elements. These spaceships, by the way, are not like NASA space shuttles. They're literally like wooden boats with oars and everything, and they fly through space using special time or air bubbles or something. I don't really know the in-game lore. I've only ever played the computer game. Alright, we'll talk to everybody, and I will pick out the best lines, and then we'll transition to another camp, recording things slightly out of order so that you can have the most consistent viewing experience.
The bloody shape-shifting freak! No one takes my Githyanki and gets away with it!
The great Orin the Red tugs your sleeve, sulking for attention. She might come to regret it yet. Lae'zel will not break easily. But Orin will only enjoy her work the more for that if we give her the time.
You almost pity Orin, taking Lae'zel like that. Give her half a chance, and she'll rip out the shapeshifter's spine.
We can't just let Orin take one of our own.
Even if it's Lae'zel. We have to rescue her, or kill Gortash in order to win her freedom.
Here we are in the Baldur's Gate camp, transitioned from
With haste.
moving in, talking to the Ox, and then speaking to Asterion, because he's the only one with any interesting lines to say about entering the city.
Gods, this is the first time in 200 years I've seen these streets in the sunlight. You can forget just how much color there is in the world.
Come on, focus up. We have to find Lae'zel.
Yes, of course we do. I was just, Right. Sorry. What's next?
Everybody else just pretty much says, hey, it's Baldur's Gate, I'm home, to that effect. And then we'll go and camp and have another scene.
You sleep, but the wicked don't. Someone is here to disturb your rest.
Get the hells away from me!
Peace, brother. We're here to take you home.
The Master needs all 7 of us for the ceremony. Come with us and be reborn. We'll live again.
Take him if you want, just keep it down. I'm trying to rest.
Oh, thank you for your unerring support.
Much as we'd love to, the Master's orders were very specific.
The Master said, no witnesses.
Interestingly, Asterion will be an ally for this particular battle. I like that. That he's generally in a video game, it doesn't really account for that, but he's totally needed for the cutscene to play out properly, so. Alright, he didn't use his Dread Ambusher attack, it looks like. He'd use his 2 actions from his haste, but he did not use his Dread action. When these guys are defeated, they turn into a cloud of smoke or puff, like when Minthara is defeated earlier as an enemy, denoting that these guys are not actually dead. Oh, that's a shame. I was going to use Black Hole and summon them back into it. I put myself next to Asterion in order to help fend off some of them. It looks like I managed to block one of them, but not the other. I'm supposed to have a dialogue with Asterion, but because he's invisible, it hasn't happened. Also, I'm supposed to see invisible because I have my eyeball. I did go lethargic, but he had also drunk a haste potion, so he should be around here. Normally, he does also walk towards his old spot. Yeah, I can't see him. I know he's right there. But I should have been able to see him to begin with. And unfortunately, his dialogue is glitched. He's supposed to...
What can I do for you, my friend?
He's supposed to accost me for saying, take me. So let me replay that battle until it pans out correctly.
You said they could take me? Really?
I was just making fun of you.
Well, I suppose you knew we could defeat them. I'll try not to think what would have happened if we hadn't. At least you've met my family now.
Had we killed them, Cazador wouldn't be able to complete the rite.
He wouldn't throw away centuries of planning on a scrap like this. They were pulled back just in time. He will be furious. And he'll be even more furious when I get to that crypt and stop him. For what it's worth, thank you. No matter what happens down there, you helped me stand up against him.
I had to play the battle with the Styrian in my party to get it to work. I had played it again with just solo and it still wasn't doing it. Let's go ahead and talk to everybody and see what they have to say.
Not the kind of excitement I usually enjoy being woken up for. Still, better than not waking up at all. Or waking up as something else entirely.
I thought the vampire spawn would have needed an invitation to enter. We should hang up their remains as a warning to Cazador that Astarion is under our protection.
Ah! Thank you for the lift, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Ta-ta!
With that, the strange apple would drop out of my pack into the water below. We brought this creature to the city as requested. Seems it left us a note. Then we get the Shapeshifter's Boon. While shapeshifting or disguising yourself, gain a plus 1d4 bonus to all checks. I assume I could try giving it to Halsin while he morphs, assuming we stay with that build. And the strange apple will just be found there. I don't know if that's what's supposed to happen, but I can tell you that having made my character go solo into this era, it still occurs. I don't know what things might disappear if I run past them, because there was that one incident in Act 1 where I didn't talk to the first Absolute cultists you meet, and they were gone by the time I came back to talk to them, because I went in a different direction. So we'll try talking to some people.
Forget I said anything.
A gallows? This is a parameters. That's what I was taught in the grotto. Do you know how badly those things can go wrong?
I'd rather not think of it, Shadowheart.
You could strangle them by accident, use too much rope and break off their legs. And if it goes really badly, you could wrench their heads right off.
What a picture you paint. Quite detailed, quite colourful, quite unnecessary.
I don't understand Will's problem here. This is his city, right? He always keeps calling it his city. And when we talk to the characters, it makes it sound like his dukedom is guaranteed because he's the son of a duke. I mean, that works in a normal, noble, aristocratic setting. But we literally just had an archduke get nominated or something? I don't know. Nonetheless, if this is his city, and these gallows are a thing, why is he saying that this is unnecessary? If this was a problem, you should have dealt with it. This is what you're doing, Will.
Mistra has a shrine within the city, located in the Stormshore Tabernacle, if my memory serves me.
Do whatever you need to. But I shan't be paying my respects to any of the gods on show.
You never felt the call of the divine, Astarion?
Oh, I tried them all. None of them answered.
The only NPCs I've spoken to during my rehearsal is just this group, and all they do is just say like, hey, there's nothing, move along. There's really nothing to see there. So I will be trying talking to these people. I don't know if there's anything interesting or they'll just yap at me. See here, we can't take any of these down. I guess they'd be mad at us. Anti-hag support group. Lost a loved one to a deal. You're not alone. Look, don't make those deals. You guys bring it on yourselves. Rat trouble, be wary of foreigners. Check out for the stout and sturdy. Master Lorican, the Arcanist of Athkatla, the recluse of Ramazith's Tower, seeks brave and enterprising individuals to delve a treacherous temple and recovered storied artifact, the Night Song, for preservation. Don't drag any of these things down or you'll get arrested for stealing, I guess. Let you pause if you want to read the others. I don't know if any of the others will trigger quests. It may just be that coincidentally the two that I clicked on were quests, but I did not know that in advance. No quest on that one. Okay.
What's the first thing you want to do after we settle in?
There's nothing left. Sleep for a and you want to take that from us? Maybe.
Hello? Does anyone want to buy a gazette?
That's terrible salesmanship. Get your act together.
I don't know how. I'm only 6.
I don't care. Stand up straight. Project your voice.
That's actually a good idea. He should. Don't rely on being young to get money. No, just project. You can even project while whispering.
Slow the army of the Absolute down, but they'll get through them sooner.
Oh, you? I know you. How delightful to meet in person. Though you're shorter than I expected.
You have me at a disadvantage. I have no idea who you are.
My name's Estrester, journalist. I speak to the people of Baldur's Gate so our readers don't have to.
And how did you know who I was?
I work for the greatest broadsheet in this storied city. It's my job to know who is who. I imagine you'll be becoming quite familiar with it soon. You are, after all, the star of the next Baldur's Mouth Gazette.
Well, it's about damn time. Which of my many deeds did you chronicle?
If I told you, you'd lose the fun of reading it yourself. It's our juiciest edition in an age bound to get everyone talking about you.
Don't I get a say in this?
Darling, we can't let the readers decide what the content is. We've editors for that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've really said rather too much and written rather too little. Good day.
Obviously, it's going to be a smear piece.
Next stop, Baldur's Gate's cushiest inn. Oh, I've got aches and... Sorry about the pong. We've been on the road for more than a 10-day.
Keep a wide berth of the gallows, please, for your own sake.
I don't like this. I don't like the look in some of their eyes.
Guess this is nothing I'm allowed to handle. Oh, I can talk to the person on the floor.
The citizen is unconscious and won't be waking up anytime soon.
She's no thief.
Stay back and stay calm. I'm warning you. She was on the list.
The history of the city itself is captured in the archives here. A fascinating resource.
I wonder what those archives will reveal about us 100 years hence.
Only the most excellent and complimentary things. With some encouragement from us, of course.
Who will save us from certain
no qualms about the
destruction?
quality of the content. I've always enjoyed reading.
You two must submit to Lord Gortash if you are to be saved.
Well, we just took a hit on him, so I'm not sure that's savings in the cards for us.
Oh, wise and merciful Lord Gortash.
If the Steel Watchers had eyes, at least you'd feel like you were being watched by something with a soul.
So I'm worried that if I just run past some of these events or whatever, or what, in this case, it's just people talking. But, like, for example, this one right here could have been a quest. I'm worried that if I run past, I'll miss content again. So I am just chatting with a couple of individuals. Not everybody in the street, but one in a group.
We've got to keep them safe.
No time to chat, mate, sorry. Since Gortash donated this printing machine, we've had ridiculous volume to shift.
Crush our enemies without mercy.
We all have to take care of
Boy, I got my eye on you. You got the look of a troublemaker.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it if I try and do? How are you level 11?
I am so glad you asked, Edvard. No, a bit too familiar. Mr. Needle.
What, is she supposed to imitate being on a cell phone? Let me talk to her. She has her own chatter.
Standard procedure. Gortash just wants to make sure that there's no misinformation.
Never run away. The truth is the truth.
Why, yes. I'd love to do an interview. Oh, sorry. Thought you were one of the mouse journalists.
Okay. Whatever. All right, let's continue moving down the street. Now, there's an event that'll happen as we reach this bend that you only see if you've long rested. I suppose I would imagine that the main flag for it is probably after having spoken to Gortash. If you've long rested and then Mizora shows up in your camp.
The Elfsong Tavern. I wonder if my old things are still there. They could be of use to you.
So I'm wondering how many people have missed this event. Still work our way down the street.
Oh, haven't you heard? Your sort won't be welcome around here much longer. Lord Gortash made that very clear in his latest interview. I'd recommend giving it a read.
Okay. I could probably kill him without anybody noticing.
To think, for decades, all we needed to build the Steel Watch has been...
Welcome, traveller. Remember, this ain't the Blushing Mermaid, it's the Elfsong. So behave yourself.
I guess you must be the tavern's hired muscle.
That's right. And a lonely job it is too. When you're the muscle, no one thinks about your heart.
Well, I'm thinking about your arms. They're like tree trunks. I approve.
Nice try, but I'd break in too. Head inside and have fun.
Precisely why he's a...
We will deal with the elf song later. We still have to deal with this event. And I think the event itself is ridiculous. I mean, this is someone who's supposed to be smart that we're dealing with here. She doesn't seem very smart. She spawns once we've moved in, are enough, and here we are.
You both some free wine if you like.
God's damned hypocrite! The Blade of Frontiers, all pomp and empty oaths. The Sword Coast's most dashing fraud. I trusted you. I believed in you.
Floric, what are you on about? What is this?
Lady Mizora told me everything. How you slaughtered your own father. How you crave his power. I thought you were going to save him. But you abused his current state to get rid of him. You mean to make the city bow to you, and you alone.
That meddling ghoul. Floric,
Save it. My duty is to Baldur's Gate, and it holds no place for Ravengard's treacherous spawn.
When we found you in Joaquin's Rest and in prison, you'd given up. Who's the traitor here?
Yet I came through. I did what was right. You butchered Alder like the devils you are.
A relevant thread of knowledge pokes at my mind. Explore it.
You remember the stories of Elturel's fall. The city was dragged into the hells at Zariel's behest, and Ravengard along with it.
Zariel's stunt destroyed countless lives. Mizora is her minion. You can't trust her.
Floric, I am my father's son. You know me. Will you really trust the word of a devil over mine? I swear I did everything I could to save him. I swear it by all I hold dear.
At ease. By the living gods, I believe you. What darkness has fallen upon us? Well, there's something you must know. I should have told you sooner, but I'd hoped somehow your father would return to us. He knew about the Absolute. I thought little of it at first, but he realized the danger before anyone else did. He understood that if the cult were successful in raising an army, Baldur's Gate would be doomed. Before the Absolutists abducted him, he told me that should he fall, I must seek you out and give you this message. Your father trained you in the ways of great champions. You are to use those lessons to wake the worm under the city. He is oath-bound to answer your call and come to our aid.
Those rolls you hear, that's combat happening with another group. We should have an option to attack her and catch her by surprise. I know this button exists, but that doesn't ever offer any sort of tactical advantage. Additionally, we have loaded to a save before we fought Answer, because the game doesn't actually expect that to happen. I noticed in my quest journal that it was saying that we need to now that we defeated Answer, we need to talk to Duke Ravengard. So we kind of broke the quest line there. So in this timeline or playthrough, we have not yet defeated him.
Waking a dragon sounds like a stupid idea.
This is no ordinary dragon. The worm goes by many names. Ansur, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Baldur he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city faced countless threats, but the Baldurians overcame them all. There was never any need to call upon the worm, but this time, things are different. This is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. Your father was right. We need Unsur's help. With him gone, the worm's awakening now falls to you. Take this. The legend of Ansur, an ancient epic, ill-remembered, dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you.
You're going to trust Will. You do know he made a pact with the devil, right?
Ravengard blood runs through Will's veins. I choose to trust. I hope you choose to honor it. I will go and assemble any allies I can find. When the battle horns call, we'll stand ready. Unleash the worm, Will. Let his tempest swallow the Absolute and its allies. Good luck.
Whoa there, Floor. Save that conversation for the bedroom.
Is the best one.
We're going to talk to Will and Halsin a little bit. Let's see if we can catch this battle. Battle might already be over, in which case we'll load and check that out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's over. Yeah, the Mind Flayer that we revived is right here. I'm curious to see if these guys have anything to say. Probably not.
The guard is busy with their patrol and has no time for idle chatter.
Okay, let's try loading and killing off this patrol to see if the Mind Flayer has anything to say. But before that, we'll go ahead and talk to Will and Halsin. We can get them to stay still. I hit the group button, but now they're trying to find a spot to stand. Halsin first, since he's been waiting.
I had hoped there might be a greater sense of balance within the city. That its walls might enable sheltering within it to foster community. Peace. Yet it is not so. Unnatural steel beings patrol the streets. The printed word sows discontent, and those in need are treated with disdain. Is this truly what progress looks like? Sometimes it is difficult to see exactly what we are fighting to save here. Sometimes the Shadow Druid's desire to separate nature from all this seems pragmatic, not fanatical.
Okay, I know I keep bringing this up, but that's because Halsin is being he is stuck on talking about how civilization is bad, and that his Emerald Grotto or Druid groves like that are better. So let's discuss this. Unnatural steel beings patrol the streets. Okay, in your grove, you had 3 assassin shadow druids just traipsing about as rats the entire time. So you had evil entities that wanted nothing more than the destruction of other living beings. That's what they crave. That's what's patrolling your grove, okay? I think we'll take the unnatural steel beings, even if they are oppressive. At least they don't want to kill everybody in sight right now. Maybe later. The printed word sows discontent. Korga had to have given all of the druids a battle plan, because if you so much as touch the statue or become hostile to Korga, I guess, the druids will send on a messenger and say, hey, it's time to act now. Then they'll proceed to immediately mercilessly beat the tieflings to death, both in a cutscene and in the battle mechanics as well. That is a little bit more than discontent there. I would say to go as far as actual violence, not this words are violence thing. This is actual violence. and those in need are treated with disdain. Do I need to remind you that even after we dealt with Korga, the druids refused to open the door and 1, either help fight, or 2, let the tieflings take shelter in it. It was so bad that even Donnie, the tiefling who can't speak, was there begging for either some sort of relief, help, aid, mind you. That's what the druids are doing. Now, I bugged the game by killing Korga, all right? But that whole scene is still because I think I killed off the people inside that would have talked to him. Because when you fight Korga, she has those 2 guys who will side whichever side Korga is, whether or not you convince her to side against the Shadow Druids or just kill her. And I chose to kill her because she has an artifact. Well, since I killed him, he couldn't speak through the door. But but their choice was basically we're gonna let the tieflings die. The druids play no part in the defense. Even if you killed all the tieflings and then you had Minthara attack, Minthara automatically wins, and you can find her where Zevlor's chamber is. Yeah, your grove did all of these same things, except worse in every single thing possible. Treated with disdain, yeah, at least they weren't trying to shut them out to murder them by the Rite of Thorns for rampaging goblin hordes. Maybe they'll come to that eventually in Baldur's Gate. But that's a little worse, okay? You had your mute child there begging for help. Progress? Yeah, it's progress from what you had. Again, I know I keep talking about it. That's because Halcyon keeps bringing it up.
It's a moot point unless we manage to stop the Absolute.
Indeed. But I cannot shake it from my mind, all the same. I was harsh on myself before. On my leadership of the Grove. The decisions I made. Perhaps too harsh, considering this place.
Now we'll talk to Will.
Let's talk.
Okay, apparently he has nothing to say. It may be because I entered the Worm's Passageway, but didn't kill Answer. So now he's got an exclamation mark over his head. Oh man, I don't want to have to load all the way back to before I entered the dungeon. But I'll figure that out. Let's go and load and see if we can save this Mind Flayer, just to explore more dialogue options. Okay, I loaded the only save I had before we entered Worm's Rock Fortress. Rushed through, talked to Gortash again. Here we go.
Curse that rotten devil and her forked tongue, trying to set Floric against me. She's a damnable inferno of chaos. What matters now is that Floric saw sense, and we know our path forward. We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansur, the heart of the gate.
Irvingard's dead and he's still got you running errands. What a daddy's boy.
Daddy held the key to a living weapon that could melt that brain into goo. Go on, read the legend of Ansur. Unless you're too busy dreaming up new insults. In which case, let me save you some time. Soldier's pet, Papa's prince, and Duke's little rich boy. The babe of frontiers. That should cover it.
Well, I like that last one.
Let's also see if we can go rescue the Mind Flayer. This is the house where the Mind Flayer is. Let's get inside before the guards show up.
How much farther can I go?
Then we'll close the door once everybody's in. Let's had himself a nice tidy meal here. But surely you can do something besides eat.
I have supped well. Thoughts, emotions, memories, the experiences of the mature, the dreams of the young. Exquisite, all of it. I look forward to more.
You recognize the newborn mind flare from the windmill before. It seems it has been busy.
Justice does not entail granting mercy to monsters. We should not have let this abomination go free.
A whole family slain. Careful, your appetite will bring a mop down in your head.
So be it. Let the feast come to me.
You say that, but you get defeated easily by one measly patrol unit. We'll leave him to his own devices. Then probably will never see him again because he doesn't have his own name. But that is the outcome of feeding your baby mind flayer. Not surprised. And while we're at it, why don't we check out what this family was like? Let's see what happens if we didn't rescue the mind flayer.
Hello? I wasn't expecting any guests.
One day I'll catch a break.
What are you doing here? This is a private home, understand?
Yeah, looks like they really just exist to be eaten. That's it. Which is fine. Not everything's gonna have an epic quest storyline or items for you. I get it. So with that, we come to a close. Thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Baldur's Gate 3. I'll see you next time.
Hello. Are you a tax collector? Papa told me I shouldn't talk to them if they showed up.